Almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. Almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. This quote is by David Brooks. In my last post, I talked about mindset, and I said mindset is a mental inclination or disposition towards things. I went further to say it is a collection of thoughts and beliefs that shapes our thought pattern. Now, this thought pattern affects how we think. How we think affects how we feel, and how we feel affects our actions. So we could say a mindset is how somebody sees the world. You say his own worldview. Now, I said also that our mindset is a programming, and that programming affects our actions. So when we see people move in a certain direction, the reason why they do that is because of the mental programming that they have in them. Our mental programming could be what either makes us succeed or fail. It is important that we know what runs in our subconscious. It is important that we understand the kind of mindset that we have, because that could be the decider of whether we succeed or whether we'll fail. Today, I'll be looking at 4 success mindsets. 4 success mindset. The first success mindset I'll be looking at is growth. Growth is very important for those who will be able to fulfill their potentials, or for those who will achieve greater things. Now, if you have that mindset that you have what it takes to be able to make things happen, then you want to invest in yourself so you can actually make those things happen. Now, the quote I gave earlier on says, almost everyone who is successful begins with 2 beliefs. Number 1, the future can be better than what it is presently. Number 2, they have what it takes. Now, people who have this mindset are willing to go to every length to invest in themselves so they can get the future to be better than what it is presently, because they believe they have what it takes to actually make it happen. But people who actually do not believe that they have that particular mindset will not invest in themselves. So you see the difference between those who are willing to invest themselves and those who are not willing to invest themselves in terms of growth capacity. It's how they see themselves. The second mindset I want to talk about is no risk, no reward. Now, there are a lot of us who are averse to risk. We actually do not want to take risk. We prefer to be in our comfort zone. We prefer to stay around things that, will not allow us to lose anything. We usually say a bird in hand is worth more than 20 in the bush. A bird in hand is worth more than 20 in the bush. And so what happens is we are not willing to give up what we are certain of for what we are uncertain about. Now, it's important for us to understand that we need to take risk from time to time. People who are very successful are people who have taken risks. Now, we're not talking about careless risk here. We're talking about calculated risk. Now, there are times when they take this risk, and what happens is that it does not come out positive for them. But there are other times when they take this risk, and what happens is that this risk actually results to something that is very, very successful for them. Now, you need to understand that risk in itself is not bad. When you look at the progress that we have made so far in our world, it is because certain persons decided that they were going to take certain risks, and those risks brought about breakthrough. So ask yourself, what is your mindset towards risk? If you think risks are bad, then you would not take risk. But if you believe that when there is no risk, there is no reward, then you are willing to take, like I said, calculated risk, and you benefit from the reward that comes from it. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is this: mistakes. Embrace your mistakes and move on. Now, a lot of times we grew up with the mindset that making mistakes are bad. I remember listening to Elon Musk, and he said something. If my people are not making mistakes, it means they are not experimenting. He said, when you look at where we are presently, he said it is because we are willing to experiment. We make as many mistakes as possible because we want to learn new things. Now, there is need for you to understand that in your journey, as you move towards transforming your life, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to find yourselves in situations and circumstances that are probably not pleasant. But then you can embrace this mistake, learn from it, and move on. The fourth success mindset I want to talk about is gratitude. People who are successful have a mindset of gratitude. They are people who are grateful for where they are, what they've been able to achieve. They're not just grateful for what is happening, they're also grateful for what is happening in the lives of other people. Ask yourself, are you somebody who complains a lot? Are you someone who does not see anything good from what is happening around them? Now, just check it. There are people around you, even when things look like they're not working, they're able to find the positives in those seemingly situations that looks like it is not working. And then they are grateful for those things. Now, there's need for you to have a heart of gratitude. A heart of gratitude comes from a positive mindset. A heart of gratitude comes from what? A positive mindset. Now, these are the 4 things I'm going to focus on in my post today.